Good morning, everyone. I'm praying that everybody woke up this morning feeling good, feeling great, and ready to take on the day. You might have some obstacles, but if you do, just take your time, take a deep breath, and think it through, and you'll get through it. All right. State of the Union Congress doesn't fully reflect diversity. This is coming from the Associated Press. When lawmakers gathered for Joe Biden's State of the Union address, the Republican side of the aisle will look slightly different than it did a few years ago. Rather than row after row of white men in suits, the House Republican majority increasingly has added Black, Latino, and female elected officials to their ranks, an effort toward bolstering GOP diversity that's helping to make Congress the most racially and ethnically diverse ever. It's a slow yet unsteady progress towards creating Congress that's more reflective of America, but it also spotlights a still stark gap on the House Republican side, where the new majority remains made up of mostly white male lawmakers, which does not fully capture the changing demographics of this country. Diversity matters, said Debbie Walsh, director of the Center for Women and Politics at Rutgers University. Every person who serves in office brings with them a set of life experiences that shape their policy priorities, that shape how they see the world. It's not that the experience of white men don't matter, but they don't matter. What? They shouldn't matter more than everybody else. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is largely responsible for making strides at trying to diversify the Republican House. The California leader personally recruited and helped to elect more female candidates and people of color who delivered majority control. Okay, so that's what this goes on to talk about. This is what the Associated Press feels like is the most important thing to talk about right now when the State of the Union address is coming. And it's probably really just a cover up for Joe Biden's blunders on this country, not just blunders, Joe Biden's poor decision making. The Biden administration has led us into no borders, the same things I talk about, no borders, no affordable energy. We have inflation because they keep talking about, you're going to hear this phrase too. We're going to make the rich pay their fair share in taxes. These corporate people are the corporations are going to pay their fair share. Okay. And then they're going to then they will share that fair share in prices for me and you, the consumer. All right. The fact is, we've been spending money in Ukraine. Yesterday, I saw the saddest thing. Now, there was this older man who was working as a cart boy at the Whole Foods. Okay, he didn't want to be there. He was tired. He moved a couple carts and he had to take a break. He didn't want to be there, but he probably still has to work because he everything is getting more and more expensive. And here we are. But people like that can't get help, not the help that they need. And it's not that I'm like, oh, we need to give out a bunch of free money, but how many billions of dollars did we spend in Ukraine last year? So miss me with the diversity talk. What's happening right now to our country? It's not about, oh, because I'm black, I see it this way, because I'm white, I see it. People are broke, people are tired, and people are not happy. 47% of the people in this country said that they're financially worse off since Joe Biden has become president. And that is a record number. Okay. So that's what they should be focusing on. Okay. And speaking of money, here's another headline. Saudi Arabia says they're now open to the idea of trading in currencies besides the US dollar. Does this spell doom for the greenback? Three reasons not to worry. Whatever. There's no three reasons not to worry. They're saying, here's why replacing the dollar is gaining popularity and why dethroning the greenback is easier said than done. Yes, it takes time. It does take time. The dollar's dominance of a global trade and capital flows dates back to 80 years. Over the last 8 decades, the U.S. has been the world's largest economy, most influential political entity, and most powerful military force. Yeah, but we're not. But they're saying replacing the dollar would be hard because other countries have a lot of catching up. Reserve currency status is closely correlated with the size of the issuing country's economy. In other words, the largest economy usually has the reserve currency status. They make it seem like everything is just going to be okay, and hey, whatever. If they did use another currency, we would still be fine because what exactly? We are depreciating our weaponry in Ukraine, right? And looking towards war with China, that all costs money. These countries are coming together. Nobody would have ever thought that. People are already trading, excuse me, well, in other currencies. Like Russia started saying, like, yo, if you want my oil, you have to pay it in rubles. These things that are happening, we're paying attention to other things like, still again, Ukraine, which at some point I do believe America is going to it's going to weasel itself out of after putting the European Union in this mess. But this, I will say, this administration is not worried about our economic growth or economic dominance. That let's be very clear. And let's keep it all the way real. They want to tank the dollar. At some point, they want to tank that dollar. They did not forget about that CBDC. They didn't forget about it. You may not have heard about Fed Now just yet, but it is coming. They didn't forget about it. So that's what's going on. So today, there will be a State of the Union. Joe Biden is going to say how great America is doing. And I'm going to force myself to watch it because I am going to make a response video. But that it's going to be nothing but lies. And it is a crime the way they lied to the American people. All right. But you guys, thank you for coming through. Guess what? It's not all doom and gloom. We know better. We do better. We know that nobody can save us. We have to save ourselves. So we have to plan ahead. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm sure you're trying to do the same. Okay. I see you guys at the next video. Bye.